Let me tell you about a place that has it all for your home, bedroom, kitchen, lawn, and more. It's a home-owned and home-operated business that's been around for over 70 years, so you know they're doing something right. At Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg, you'll find top name brands for every room of your house and top brands for the outside too. Looking for appliances, televisions, couches, safes, bedding, mowers, and well, the list goes on. So make the drive today to 824 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg and be treated right.
Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Locker Room, brought to you by Swap and Shop Center of Lawrenceburg, joined by UT Southern head men's coach here, Andy Sharpe. And Andy, I know the start to league play for you guys got off a little bit rocky, but lately you guys have been playing much better, and it's starting to show here in the win-loss column.
Yeah, we got off to a horrendous start. Lost a lot of games here at home, which is very uncharacteristic of my teams. Over my career, we usually defend home court at an elite level, and we let some slip through our fingers here at home and really put us behind the 8 ball in a really tough league. Our league is just so good. We have 5, 6, 7 national tournament caliber teams, I think, in our league, but lately, we've won 3 in a row now, and we're starting to kind of put some pieces together. We're starting to get healthy, we want to be talking about getting into our peak. We don't want to peak right now, obviously, but we're starting to show some signs of playing our best basketball.
Yeah. What was kind of the difference at the first start of conference play as opposed to where you guys are right now?
Well, I think it just took time, to be honest with you. We scheduled a pretty challenging non-conference schedule, and we had 9 new guys. And you throw 9 new guys together and put them in a tough league and a tough schedule. It just takes some time to realize, kind of what our roles are and kind of what the pecking order is and what it takes to win in our league. And I think we had to learn some really tough lessons early on, and I had a lot of sleepless nights learning those lessons, but we struggled through it and experienced that adversity, and I think we got better from that adversity. And now the challenge is, can we keep it going?
Right.
And so this next week is going to be, this week is challenging. We go on the road and play 2 really good teams in Dalton State and Life, and we're going to see if we've learned some of those lessons.
Yeah. How challenging it with how spread out your league is. I know it's mainly in the South, but you're going to Georgia, you're going to Louisiana, you're going all over the place here in this conference.
Yeah, our league geographically is really spread out. Got some long road trips, and we added Xavier University, which is also in New Orleans, for next season to our league. We're adding another South Georgia team, and just feels like we're getting more and more spread out. I'm not real sure what the long-term outlook and plan is for that. I don't know, but everybody's got to get on the road and travel, so it's kind of an even playing field, and it's just which teams can go on the road and sneak away a few games, and we've won 3 in a row now on the road, and like I said, this week will be a tremendous test for us. I'm excited. We've had a good week of practice so far, and today I hope we have another elite practice and we can keep building for this week.
Let's get into some of your guys. I think Antonio Cochran's probably been your most consistent guy night in and night out.
Yeah, TJ is really starting to put it together. He's a guy that is from a winning pedigree. Played 2 years at Wallace State Community College in Hansville. Played for my cousin his first year, and then and played for Farron Key last year. Won a ton of games, 2 national tournament trips. TJ's just a winner, and we're fortunate to be able to get TJ here at UT Southern. And the thing with TJ is he's really started to rebound the basketball. His rebound numbers have been like just doubled what they were to start the season. And early on, I said, TJ, we have to have you rebound the ball, man. You're too athletic, you're too long. You can lead our break and all the things. And it just took some time for him to really embraced that role, and now he's been able to do that consistently, and that's really helped us elevate our game.
I know DeMarion's been big as well. I know his rebounding numbers, you spoke, have kind of ticked up, and he's hit some big shots for you guys.
Yeah. You know, DeMarion is he's just such a physical specimen. You know, when I saw him play in junior college, like, that kid should be playing linebacker at Alabama. You know, I mean, he's just big, physically imposing. I think what's good about he and TJ is we can play them in multiple positions. They can guard multiple positions, so it allows us to have some real flexibility with what we're doing. DeMarion's got to score it a little bit better for us, a little more consistently, and that's something that we really need for him to try to elevate as we kind of go through the last part of the season.
I know Jack Harper, just right here in Pulaski. I know he wasn't in your rotation much in the first part of the year, but man, lately he's almost starting. He's doing a lot of big things for you.
Jack is starting, and Jack is going to continue to start. And it's just, as a coach, it's just so encouraging to see a young man come in. You know, last year I was new. We were new to each other. He didn't play much last year. He's in the best shape that I've ever seen him in, and that was one of the things we talked about at the end of last year. It was like, if you're going to take this seriously, like, you need to show me you're going to take it seriously. Got in the gym, worked on his body, worked on his conditioning, worked on his footwork. And we all know Jack can really shoot the ball, but you know, he's able to put some things together now that makes it hard for me to take him out. Just because he's able to stretch the floor so well. He's an improved defender, and he wants to please. You know, and as a coach, you just love dudes that are like that. Yes, sir, coach, I got you. I could tell him to run through that wall. He's like, I got you, coach. And he would give everything he had, try to run through that wall. And Jack's been a real bright spot for us this season, and we hope that he continues that.
I've noticed when you go up against some of these teams, especially in league play, you're not the biggest team, but you win the rebounding battle every night, and it really is a collective effort. We mentioned TJ, we mentioned DeMarion, but it's everybody else that gets in on the rebounding act as well.
Yeah, we call it gang rebounding, and it's expected. Everyone has to put their nose in the battle down here, and on some nights, we come out of there bloodied and bruised and all the things, and but it takes all of us to go rebound. And that's something that we feel like gets on the bus with us too. Rebounding and defense travels, and so those have been kind of our two pillars that if we can do those things consistently, we feel like we can find enough way to scratch out enough points to be in a game, to win a game, and now that tide has started to shift a little bit for us. So it's been exciting. We have to continue to out-rebound our opponents. We have to continue to try to get offensive rebounds to create more possessions for us offensively as well.
I noticed at one point you cut your hair during the season. Is this kind of like the hockey guys do it? We cut the hair, and then once we start playing, I don't shave, I don't cut the hair, and I just let it go until something happens.
I am. You'd have to ask my wife, but I am known to if the juju isn't right, if I don't feel it, if something, I have to change something, and usually it's my hair. I can't tell you how many times in my 20-year coaching career that we've gotten off to a rough start or been in a rut or whatever, and I'll come home from practice with a shaved head, and Mandy will be like, "What in the world is wrong with you?" I had to change it up. I had to bring some different energy, and just kind of keeps everybody on edge a little bit, and you got to find that right energy, and I had to definitely change it after that Oakwood game at home. They outplayed us, outcoached us. Had to make a change right away.
Well, finally, Andy, just wrapping up here. Again, you mentioned how big of a weekend this is. You've won 3 in a row. Another big road game, and you got 2 big tests coming up next.
Dalton State Life both played in the national tournament last year. They're 2 of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Division. It's a transfer-heavy league, and both of these teams have a ton of transfers that have produced at high levels. So we're definitely going to have our work cut out for us. Like I said, we got to make sure our defense and our rebounding get on the bus with us Thursday. We've had some really good practices the last 2 weeks, and it's no coincidence that the scoreboard has started to reflect, some of those daily habits that we've been improving, and we've got to keep it going. We've kind of turned the tide, but now you got to keep it rolling that way, and so it takes some daily intentionality to achieve that. So that's what we're after right now.
Randy, thanks for joining us here on Inside the Locker Room, and good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks, AJ.
UT Southern head men's basketball coach Andy Sharpe here on Inside the Locker Room, brought to you by Swap and Shop Center of Lawrenceburg.
This is the X Sports Network.